Menu selling. Okay, now, if you paid attention when I was presenting the menu, when you present the menu, I have detached indifference. My entire attitude is I really don't care if you buy any of these things. You know, my only job now is to sign waivers, releases, and hold harmless agreements on those items that you elected not to purchase and you agreed to self-insure. Remember the words self-insure. When I tell a consumer they're self-insuring, that strikes an emotional chord. You know, I'm self-insuring? Yes, sir. Just the service contract alone, the parts and labor agreement, an automobile is 15,000 high-tech component parts. And you're self-insuring on the failure of any and all of them. Well, I've got a warranty from the factory. Well, the warrant, I've heard so many people say the factory warranty is a bumper-to-bumper warranty. Excuse me, it doesn't even cover bumpers. You know, the factory warranty is described as a limited warranty. If you read the factory warranty, whether it's a Honda, a Toyota, a Chevrolet, it doesn't matter. All the manufacturers have a limited warranty. The word limited is right in the title. Mr. Customer, manufacturer warranties only cover defects in materials and workmanship. Remember that line. Only cover defects in materials and workmanship. They don't cover wear and tear failures. They don't cover consequential damage to a non-covered part caused by the failure of a covered part. Manufacturer warranties do not cover any of those things. So your service contract, your parts and labor agreement covers more even during the initial factory coverage period that the factory doesn't cover. It covers wear and tear and consequential damage. So remember that when you're saying, you know, the first 3 years. And Mr. Customer, I don't care if you buy any of these things, but you're self-insuring on all of them. The word self-insure, I weave it in and out of the conversation quite a bit. Mr. Customer, this particular form is called the Truth in Lending Act form. Now, this is a form I invented. It's in my book, and I'm going to probably put it online and make it available to you. But listen to this disclosure. Mr. Customer, the consumer acknowledgement of disclosure is an additional clarification to the retail sales contract. Now, Mr. Customer, consumer protection laws require that all the above listed protection options were fully explained to you by me. This comes after the menu. After the menu, now you can, this is basically a waiver and release disclosure. Whatever waivers and releases you're using, you need to have them. Now, me personally, I prefer being a notary public. But remember, you cannot notarize your own signature. So if a customer signs something and I notarize it, I have to have a salesperson or another employee be the witness before I put the seal on it. You cannot notarize your own signature. So just remember that. And I'm going to notarize this document. Consumer protection laws require that the above listed protection options were fully explained to you by me. That's true. Accepting these items is not a condition of loan approval. It is against the law, it's against all laws to tell a customer they have to purchase a service contract, they have to purchase anything in addition to the base amount being financed. So, Mr. Customer, accepting these items is not a condition of loan approval, nor to qualify for any certain interest rate. Now, one of the most bogus things you could do that is totally illegal is to tell the consumer you'll lower their interest rate if they buy a service contract, or you'll raise their interest rate if they don't buy a service contract, or anything else that's on the contract, any of the optional items. You cannot use rate to leverage sale of a product. So I'm telling the customer, declining these protection options is a waiver of liability. By your signature affixed, you acknowledge and hold harmless this dealership from any liability arising from claims that would have been covered by the items you elected to self-insure. What I just said is any of these items that you elected to self-insure, if they would have been covered by these items, you are self-insuring on that. This is a waiver of liability by signature affixed. Now, creating a form like this gives you several options. Number one, it's going to be a full disclosure. I'm going to get into that in a second. But number two, it documents that you did not illegally present the figures. When the customer signs it, it says it clearly, you do not have to buy these products. It will not change your rate if you do or don't buy these products. And you don't have to buy these products to attain the loan. And the customer is acknowledging that I told them that. They can't come back at another time and say, he told me I had to buy the service contract to get the rate. No, I didn't. You signed. So it's a protection for you that you deliberately and methodically presented everything in an ethical, legal way. So that's number one. Now, Mr. Customer, it says here that you've accepted the parts and labor agreement, the service contract. Let me have your initials here that you accepted that product. Now, Mr. Customer, it says here that you turned down the GAP, the guaranteed asset protection. Now, as a point of purchase item, you cannot come back and buy it at a later time. Let me ask you, is there anything about that product that you don't understand, anything I could explain to you before we sign off on it and move on and totally decline it and agree to self-insure? Before we move on and you agree to self-insure on the GAP protection, is there anything you don't understand, anything I could explain to you about this product? Now, what I'm trying to show you is this form, however you create this form, or you can use one like mine, it gives you a waiver and release and gives you the ability to sell after the no.